All right, embarrassing true story of about 5 years ago when I accidentally got extremely high. I accidentally drank a full bottle of THC infused tea. Like, I drank the entire bottle. Not sipped it slowly. I didn't ease into, I drank the whole bottle. I didn't come up for air. I was so thirsty. I was doing one of those drinks, like, you know how kids do when they're extremely thirsty. It's loud. They drink loud. You hear them breathing. It's this. Now, for the record, full disclaimer, I am not condoning the use of THC. I don't know how legal or illegal it is where you are, or if you are of legal age or whatever. I'm just merely sharing my experience. Now, I personally don't smoke weed or consume THC just in general. That's just my personal preference. So when I accidentally drank this bottle, it caught me way off guard because my THC tolerance is non-existent. You know what I mean? I don't consume it. So basically, I was kicking it with my boy Mikey all day. We had just got done playing ball. We're extremely hungry. We're thirsty. But I'm watching him drink this tea. I was like, yo, man, I'm extremely thirsty. He said, oh, you can have the rest of this. I got another one back at home. Now, on the bottle, he also knows that I don't smoke weed or anything. So on the bottle, I read it said peach tea in big letters. But at the same time as I read that, he told me it's THC. So when I read peach tea and heard him say THC, my brain just heard peach tea, like all together. It just combined it, right? You see how my brain could make that mistake. Anyway, I took the bottle. I was like, thanks, man. And I downed it. Now, I could taste the peach tea, but at the same time, it didn't taste like any tea that I had ever tasted. It did have a different flavor to it, but it didn't matter. I was thirsty. Immediately, Mikey was like, yo, bro, you're bold. Like, not even I would do that. I didn't really pay that much mind. I was just like, yeah, whatever. He was like, yeah, you got to ease yourself into that. Like, maybe you should have sipped it first. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, that's going to hit you later. And then I looked at the bottle and I saw THC. I was like, oh my God, bro, you got to be kidding me. He was like, yeah, man, I told you. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to freak out too much. Let's just go get something to eat before this hits me, right? I kid you guys not, man, 30 minutes go by and just all of a sudden, just like I felt it hit me. It was the weirdest feeling ever. We're in a parking lot and I felt like people were just staring at me in every car that was parked. Like there was people in those cars. But when I focused on the car, there was nobody in it. So I was just like paranoid out of nowhere. I was like, yo, bro, like I feel like people are just staring at me. He just laughs. He's like, no, you're good, bro. Don't even worry about it. He knew that it was hitting me. And yeah, it was the weirdest feeling ever. Every step I took, I forgot how I got there. Like I don't know. I was teleporting everywhere I was going. I would take a step and I was like, where did we just come from? It felt like, have you ever just become aware in a dream and then you're like, yo, what is going on? Like, how did I get here? How did I get to this spot in this world? And then you wake up, right? It was like one of those, but you don't wake up. You just keep wondering, like, what's going on? What was I doing earlier? Like I was starting to freak out. Suddenly we teleport again and I'm in a pizza spot. Like we're in some little pizza joint and I'm sitting at the table. I don't remember ordering this pizza and I don't remember how we even got there. But I was sitting there and I felt heavy. Like my arms just felt heavy. And the whole time Mikey's just laughing at me. He's just looking at me, just smiling because he knows I'm high. And he's like, nah, you're good, bro. Don't worry about it. And I kept feeling like, I was like, yo, I need to call my dad. Like, I don't know why my brain thought that. I was like, I need to call my dad. I need to get my dad on the phone. I don't know what I was going to tell my dad. And I'm so glad I didn't because that would have just been the weirdest conversation. I don't know what I would tell him. But my brain just kept saying like, yo, call dad. So anyway, we teleport again and we're back at Mikey's place. Apparently I ate food. And at this point, like, I'm deeper in it. Like, I'm feeling it even more. And I'm there with Mikey, his girl Brittany, and my wife, Jada. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, they're gonna know. That's all I kept thinking. I was just like, yo, they're gonna know. So I was like, this is a high thought, right? I was like, you know what? Let me make sure they don't know that I'm too high. Like, let me go check my eyes, see if my eyes are bloodshot. So I get up off the couch and I walk to the bathroom and I look at myself in the mirror just to stare at my eyes to see if they're bloodshot. So I'm looking at myself in the mirror for like maybe, I don't know, like 2 minutes. Right? All of a sudden, Mikey's standing at the doorway like, yo, bro, like, what's going on? Are you good? I was like, yeah, man, I'm good. I was just looking at my eyes. He was like, yeah, bro, you've been staring at yourself in the mirror for 45 minutes. I was like, oh my God. Like, I had no perception of time. I didn't realize that much time had passed. To this day, I still feel like he might have just been trolling me. But he swears I was staring at myself for 45 minutes in the mirror. So anyway, I go and I lay on the couch. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna try to sleep this off, maybe take a nap. I'm laying on the couch. Suddenly, I become extremely aware of how comfortable my pants are around my legs. I don't know if you guys had ever taken the time to just notice how your pants hug your legs, but in that moment, I realized I had a real appreciation for pants. I was like, you are hugging every inch of my legs, and this is comfortable. It's like my legs get their own blanket wrapped around them. This is literally what was going through my mind. And the most embarrassing part is I'm laying there, they're watching TV. In my head, I'm like, they don't know that I'm high. So I'm trying to act normal, but I was so comfortable that a fart seeped out. Just a little poop. It was one of those, right? You could hear it. This is the stupidest thing. So a little poot, just a little poop. And the first thing that came to my mind is exactly what came out my mouth. And it was, oops, I farted. And they were cracking up, and I couldn't live that down. I just had to sit there and think to myself, like, bro, you don't have to say everything that comes to your mind. It was a constant battle of me versus me in my mind, of like, don't say that, that's weird. Eventually, I fell asleep, and I woke up, I don't know, I was like maybe a couple hours later, and it was probably the best sleep of my life, but they were just laughing at me. I was back to normal. But yeah, that's the story of the time I accidentally got high off a THC infused peach tea. Moral of the story, just, you know, pay attention to the things you drink and listen if someone's going to give you a heads up that it might be infused with something. Oops, I farted.